It's BDM.
Come on.
I think makes me the most important.
Image Award for Best Jazz Album. We out here!
Yes.
You heard it?
Hearing ladies say Chop Belafonte, it's just a turn on, man. So yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another BDM Cigar Show. I am Big Bruce, one of the BDM hosts. We got a special guest with us today that we're going to interview. I'm about to say ignore. That we're going to.
On occasion.
We'll go around the room. Dwight, the other host, introduce yourselves.
Yes, again, it's Dangerous Dwight, a.k.a. Pretty Flacco's in the house. We have a special guest, but find out soon.
This point just announced. Anyway, hey, this is Maze. I'm here, ready to enjoy this cigar and nice conversation.
Here we go.
So we've been ramping up to the biggest cigar event in Philadelphia annually, right? And just as the year goes in, as we get deeper and deeper into the year, we talk more and more about it. So this show, that's what we really going to talk about. And we have with us the founder of Philly Cigar Week, John Armstrong.
Yeah, sir.
First and foremost, thank all of y'all for having me back on the set. It's always good to be amongst the brothers of the Leaf and our sister of the Leaf off to the side here. But we're excited. This is year 5. Year 5.
5 years.
So seems just like yesterday.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know, starting to try to put this thing together. But so we got some things lined up this year. Trying to continue to build relationships, but also showcase the best that Philly has to offer. That's first and foremost what our main objective is. And then we always use the tagline that, changing Philadelphia's social scene one cigar at a time. So that's still our little mantra. But other than that, just excited, man. The weather's breaking. Time to get back out there and sit on the porch, sit on the balcony. And, see what I'm saying? And it's cigar season.
Tell us what you're smoking, what you're about to light up.
Well, some friends of mine told me that sometimes you have to pull the label off and just say it's some hand rolled. So this is one of my hand rolled collections.
All right.
Now, actually, I was up in Brooklyn this past weekend for the Smoke Nick event. It's held by my man Stevie G. Yeah. So we went up there to Dumbo, Brooklyn this past Sunday. That's why I couldn't make the Mooshaloo. But it was an amazing event. It's kind of like a super upscale, like a cigar en blanc, right? Because you get a table, you bring it in, it's BYOB. Everyone was, it was kind of funny because as we started looking around at different tables, we looked like a straight Philly cabaret. Right? They had vases, flowers, and coming in with caterers. We were like, man, we opened up Acme boxes and sandwiches. But
Chicken.
So that was your first.
Yeah. So it was all good. So it was an incredible event. They had over 500 people there. It was a beautiful venue. They had like a little courtyard off the back where you can kind of step outside and get your smoke on. So we were it's funny because when you go to new place, you kind of want to just naturally assimilate into the audience. But so we were able to kind of network with some cats and so shout out to Stevie Genius, the host of that event. He's actually been to Philly Cigar Week twice. And so we're now just kind of chopping up about them bringing a crew of people down, and they kind of host it like every other month, but it's a great event. So I was excited to attend, and I had a ball. So it was
so this cigar you have you had it before?
Actually, it's a Brooklyn cigar smoke. Yeah, they had a table full of stuff, and we have the variety bag, and they just kind of
anything from that table that you bought.
2 other ones I smoked at the event. They were definitely nice, mild, smooth, no complaints. And so, but yeah, they took care of us up there, so we had a ball. But no, someone's kind of excited to go back as well. But they're nice. And so they only had one cigar vendor. They had a few other vendors that were selling T-shirts and things of that nature. But Brooklyn Cigar smokers. Actually, it's a lounge up there that they were there renting on site. But
you remember the name of the lounge? It's okay.
I got.
We'll get it.
I got the card. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up.
I was just in New York, and I've smoked in Brooklyn before, but most of the time I'm in the city, in Manhattan, and there's a bunch of places in Manhattan, so I like to get another name on my list when I'm in Brooklyn.
Well, John, I have a question for you.
Sure, sure.
At the event that you were just at, you said in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have a band? They have a DJ? They had any music?
Actually, they had definitely had a DJ. They had actually, it was two singers performing live. It wasn't actually a band set up, but they performed at the early part of the evening. The event went from 3 to 8 p.m. So I think they started performing live around 5 o'clock.
Okay, nice.
And then by 6 o'clock, it was kind of thick into the things. Most of my time was spent outside, just chopping it up.
Absolutely.
And but yeah, it was a great event, though.
We were talking earlier about what type of lounge you like to go to, what type of event you want to go to, and do you want music? Do you want the rah-rah? Do you want some peace?
It's funny, and it's like a lot of cigar lounges are just morphing into what fits their lane, right? Mm-hmm. And also the membership kind of dictates the vibe of the lounge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to tell you if you're like, oh, well, you know what, we're doing too many events. I mean, I want to come. I want to come here, put my laptop up, flip it up, smoke, whatever. Or if it's a weekend, they may have some friends from out of town. They want to showcase their lounge. And if it's an event going on, it kind of can get overwhelming at times. So it's just it's a unique balancing act that I think all the lounge owners have to kind of maneuver and work their way around. Yeah. So it's one of those things. And then like I said, for example, for the Cigar Week. We're in the brick and mortar business, right? And so we do our annual event, and then we do a monthly event to kind of keep it out there. And one of the biggest misconceptions is like, oh, John and Pat, you all are killing it, y'all making a mint. And it just like the cigar industry as a whole, the hard value of the cigar is $5. Your markup's 50%, right? Mm-hmm. So but we've been fortunate that we have some venues that we work with us for free, the second and the third, but it still costs to produce these events. You know what I'm saying? So the margins and all that, I kind of laugh and shake my head. It's like having kids, and they think that you always got that money for the ice cream, and it's like, nah, we gotta pay the heat bill. But yeah.
I was just gonna say, I know, and I've never asked you this, but I know just by looking at your events and going to them and talking to you, knowing the kind of person you are, your most important thing for you is the experience that you're giving to people.
Exactly.
So if it comes out to where you break even and everybody had a great ass time, you're like, that's a win. I won.
Absolutely.
And I can appreciate that. So, but if it comes to events where you make a nice profit, that's good too. Like, what's the problem with that? Like, that's where it's a business also. So there's no problem with that.
Oh no, definitely.
Yeah.
And we've been fortunate. In the past years, I have some strong sponsorship support. Nate Rogers, Beam Suntory family, they've been strong supporters for us for the last 3 years. And so when you have a sponsor that's able to help underwrite a lot of your talent and so on and so forth, that's a win-win because you put that into the event. I used to laugh for years because prior to doing the cigar thing, I used to do a lot of All-Star Weekend parties, right? And it was like what we call the annual circus, regardless of what city it was in. We had to go write the sponsorship proposal, find the venue, pretty much everything was lock, stock, and barrel. And I was always, so when I kind of walked away from that and got into the consulting side, I can recall writing, sponsorship packages for some clients, and they'll get $50,000, but they'll put $10,000 into the project and the other $40,000 in their pocket. I'm like, oh, wow. You're really cutting off your ability to be successful, because on that document it said that this money was to cover XYZ. They were putting the profits in the cart before the horse. It was kind of awkward. So we've always been fortunate to kind of put that into it. You know what I'm saying?
That's integrity is what that's called.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and then and so now locally, Pennsylvania as a whole is a hard state to do business in when it comes to liquor sponsors because it's state controlled. So like in New York and other parts of the country, they'll write a sponsorship check directly to the promoter. Then we go to the venue and say, okay, we want to spend this for liquor, this for that, this is going to cover talent. So every state, every city is different. So we've been able to kind of navigate that here in Philly just by happenstance. Like
handling the cards you're dealt.
Exactly. Kevin kind of fell in our lap because that whole story, how that all came about. And they've been a great partner every year because he's like, just as long as you can bring the people in and we make money, you make money. It's all it's a match made in heaven. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And it serves as a perfect backdrop with the water and all of that. Yeah, you can't beat it.
Yeah. Cavanaugh's is perfect, was perfect, and we recorded a bunch of nice shows with using the backdrop that you gave us. So So and again at Cavanaugh's again this year. So and I believe what days are we at Cavanaugh's?
So Cavanaugh's were there this year. It's one day only this year. It's gonna be Saturday, June 22nd. Okay. And it's funny because I remember year one. And we're in the midst of the events, and as y'all can attest to,
Yes, we were there.
I'm flip flops. I'm like the help.
Yeah.
You know, people think that, oh, that's the guy running. They like, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't until after the fact when I saw the recaps, I was like, wow. It reminded me when I used to go to Super Bowl years ago, and you kind of see the ESPN on site broadcasting live, because you're capturing all the energy real time. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I was like, wow, that was amazing. And then in the following year, the way you guys had it set up for the Big Daddy Kane thing, that backdrop was amazing, because it captured the whole energy of the venue. You know what I'm saying? And so those are the things that just kind of help share the story. Yeah. And most good event planners or successful event planners have to be able to tell the story. And so for those that aren't there, they kind of see, wow, that's the energy I'm missing. I got to be there next year, right? So recaps are heavy.
FOMO.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Fear of missing out. Yeah, definitely.
And one thing I do enjoy about your events that you do have is that you can be a person who is a veteran in smoking cigars, or someone who's just a novice and just want to come out and see what's going on. It's welcoming to everyone.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember going back to my Temple days, some of the stuff I had retained from my marketing classes. It's like that Tetris method of marketing. You kind of fill in that line, and then it drops out, and you got to find a way to figure out what's next, right? And so it's funny because you have people that come from different parts of the country. They'll see it. Their friends like, oh, I don't really smoke, and then it's like, oh, you have to be a smoker to come, and then they just kind of stick it. It's a gateway, right? They kind of get introduced to it, and then they say, wow, I like this, and they start to come back more and more and more. So we're definitely excited about that. And then it's a learning process. Each year, we're trying to insert a little bit more educational stuff into it, so they kind of can take away some other things with them other than just partying and smoking.
So no matter what level of smoking you're at, there's an event for you, there's a place for you, and you'll feel comfortable.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
And when you talk about that, you're talking about like the panels that you may have set up for when people have questions about maybe cigars.
Absolutely. So, for example, Stacy Stokes from Strange Fruit Wines, she's been a strong supporter for us from day one, and she's been diligently attending other cigar weeks around the country and other just events in general, whether it be wine festivals and things of that nature, and just educating people as to that you can pair wines with cigars, right? And it's a way in which you do that. So she'll be on this year's panel. We have
that's where?
That's going to be Wednesday at Wednesday at the Cigar Code. So this year we're not doing Monday through Sunday. We're doing midweek through Sunday. And so we're actually kicking off on Wednesday, June 19th this year. So that'll be at the Cigar Code, our annual kickoff VIP event. That's 5 to 10. And then that panel discussion will start at 7 o'clock. And we have Monte from O2 Cigars. There was a gentleman that was there last year.
Go through the whole schedule.
So let's just run stuff from the top. So Wednesday, June 19th, we kick it off with our annual VIP kickoff reception. That's at the Cigar Code. Cigar Code always plays as a perfect backdrop because it has the indoor-outdoor scenario. I'm so excited to be back there. We'll have the O2 Cigars, the hand-rolled cigars. Those are the two twin brothers, Monte and his twin brother. We'll have Mauricio Chateau, local brother who now has his own line of cigars. He's now doing his own hand-rolls as well. And then obviously we'll have access to the full humidor that Ivan and his wife, or Rum and his wife, Janice, have put together. And then Monte, Kevin from Diggs Boys Bourbon, he'll be on the panel discussion as well.
They've been trying to get those guys to come out, but go ahead.
They're excited because they're now finally in Pennsylvania. Like they'll be on shelf soon, so that was a great win for them. And so Stacy, Kevin, and Monte will be on the panel discussion this year for that. And Randy Robinson is one of our long-term supporters, like the voice of the panel discussion.
MC.
Exactly, the MC, the moderator. Yep. And so that's going to once again be called Deeper Than Elite Part 3, the panel discussion. Thursday, we're venturing over the bridge, shoot over Ben Franklin. We're teaming up with Isaac and his wife, Lady Lynn, and so we'll be at Vera, and that'll be the ladies' night, and so that'll be a great opportunity for us kind of indulge people on that Jersey side. Not that they don't commingle, but Vera is the perfect backdrop. It's a beautiful venue. And lamb chops to die for. You know what I'm saying?
Food is good. The venue is beautiful. It's not too far over the bridge. You don't have to travel that far. Across the bridge, boom, 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 you're there. And inside, outside, you can only smoke outside, but the inside is awesome. The outside is even better. It's a pond with fish. What is it? A stocked pond. It's beautiful.
And then then Friday we
go to Friday. You got to tune in for our next show for Friday. that is it for this one, guys.
Stay tuned, right?
Stay tuned, right. Our next show, we'll talk more with John and Philly Cigar Week and chop it up with some more. Big Bruce, peace.
Until then, stay smoky.
Yo, it's Dangerous Dwight. We'll be back.
This is Maze. We having a great conversation. Stay tuned for the next one.
This show will make it clear if the whole city